And thank you all for joining today's webinar. I'm Nancy Mokoi, an accountant at Health Department. I'm the speaker for this session. I'm eager to dive in health financing payment procedures. Let's make this session engaging and informative, and let's get started. Our topic is about health finance payment procedures. Thank you.
Like Nancy.
I think I need something.
Okay, while Nancy is getting ready with that, yeah, thank you.
Oh, sorry for that. Sorry for that. The first question we're going to ask ourselves, so that it can be an interactive session. At least I need to get from our audience, what is finance?
Yeah.
What is finance? Sorry for that. Finance, in a layman's language or in a simpler language, finance is about sourcing funds and how best they can be utilized at the right time and at the right time at the right place. We need to understand how are we going to source for funds, how are we going to lobby for funds, and we are going to utilize our funds in the right way and in the right place and at the right time. Then we have functions of finance. First, we have financial planning. What is financial planning? Financial planning is whereby we develop a goal. We sit down and we have a strategic plan on how we are going to achieve our goals. And we create a budget on how we are going to allocate the resources accordingly. Then what is investment? Investment involves making decisions about how to allocate funds in different assets. It's how the fund we have lobbied, the fund we have mobilized. How are we going to make the right decision, and how are we going to allocate those funds in our different departments or in our different areas of utilization? Then we have financing. Finance involves obtaining funds from various sources. That is our various avenues or our various revenue. And how are we going to increase on our financing? Then we have liquidity management. Liquidity management involves managing cash and other liquid assets. It's managing what we have and utilizing it in an economical way, so that it can help our citizens, or it can be useful to all of us. Then we have financial control. What is financial control? Financial control, it is like monitoring and evaluating. After we have planned, we have invested, we have financed, we need to evaluate ourselves. That is evaluating our performance, our financial performance, and analyzing variance from planned outcomes that we achieve.
As I can see, Nehemiah had a comment when we were discussing about the functions of financing, money management, and Fatma says budgeting. So I think they are on point, correct, Nancy?
Yes, they are. Then we have finance payment procedure, typically involves several steps. In finance, we do have invoicing generation. We generate an invoice. That invoice has to be approved. And after the approval of the invoice, we do the payment processing. And later, we have to reconcile. Then the purposes of this, it usually starts with receiving the invoice, verifying the details. Is it in order? Is it had the right quantity, the right quality, and the right prices? And if it is in order, we go ahead and get the necessary approvals and then initiate the payment through a chosen method. Maybe we can use electronic transfer, or we can issue checks. And in a visual way, that's that picture on how we go about it, that we invoice, we verification and approval. From there, the payment process takes place and we reconcile. What are the documents used in payment processes? The audience.
Participants, I'm sure most of us have interacted with the financial documents in our departments and in our places of work. What documents come to mind when you hear documents using payment process? Please. Yes, George says LPOs. Thank you very much, George. Any other comments? I personally know of LSOs too. Thank you, Ali. And George, we both had the same idea. Any other documents that you feel like you've heard of at your places of work that are used in the payment process? Invoices, thank you, Amina. Receipts, thank you, Nehemiah. Invoices and receipts. Sumaya, thanks. LPO. Thank you, Daktari. Let's continue learning. I'm also interested to know.
Thank you so much. All those are varied answers. And the documents that are used in finance department for processing payments, we have a voucher. All of us are correct, because that voucher contains the things that we have highlighted. Then we have impresses. Those are the documents that are processed in the department regarding, it depends on the type of payment that is supposed to be raised. Then we have the procedures used in payment process. First of all, we need to have a request from the section or office that needs item. That is the requisition that is developed or is written by the user, whoever needs an item or needs any payment. After the requisition, the requisition must be approved by the chief officer, by the in charge, if it's a facility in charge, or MEDSUP if it's forever funds. After the request has been approved, an accountant or the financial officer, the finance officer, is supposed to ascertain the availability of funds. Do we have funds to proceed with that payment? Or if we don't have, I think the process cannot proceed. If we have funds, we proceed, we prepare a voucher or an impress regarding the type of payments that we need to do. We will, in our next slide, we'll go to understand more about when we prepare a voucher and when we prepare an impress. We need to understand what is a voucher. I've talked about voucher several times. What is a voucher?
So as you said, that all the documents you just mentioned up there, the APOs, the invoices, you mentioned that they're the ones that are comprised in the voucher. So maybe among us who have interacted with these documents, what do you think a voucher is? Please type your comments. We appreciate the interaction.
Okay. I think I can proceed and say, what is a voucher? A voucher is a documentary evidence of payment or receipt of money, which is available for future reference, accounting, and auditing purposes. We use a voucher as an evidence that payment took place. And at the same time, a voucher is used for a future reference because we do file them. And so that if anything needed anything in future, we are able to retrieve it and get the relevant information that we want. Then it's very important to have a voucher because it is the one that will be used during auditing, which is one of the functions, the role of accounting, auditing purposes.
Yes, Nancy. And Fatma has mentioned her comment here that a voucher is a document or receipt that serves as evidence of a financial transaction. It may be used for various purposes, such as recording expenses, authorizing payments, or redeeming goods or services. Wow, that is very nicely detailed. Thank you so much, Fatma.
Then still, I need to know, kindly, let's know the type of voucher. The type of vouchers we use. We have different type of vouchers. Can we kindly highlight the different type of voucher that we use?
Wow. Ali says temporary voucher. Thank you, Ali. I'm thinking payment voucher, or I'm yet to learn some more. A gift voucher. Thank you, Zuleha. Ahlam, payment voucher. I think you and I are thinking on the same level. This is very interesting. The gift voucher now is what I'd like to know about. Thank you. This is really out of the box. Thank you, Zuleha.
Thank you so much. Yes, we have a payment voucher, which is F20. A payment voucher is the voucher that is used for purchase of goods and services. We use a voucher, but it is used, yes, for payment of goods and services. Then we have F21. This is a deposit and suspense voucher. What is a deposit and suspense voucher? This is a type of voucher that is used for transfers. This is not an expense because the payment voucher, F20 is we count it when we are doing our reconciliation, all the things we have written, it is an expense. But F21 is not an expense because this is just a transfer. For example, what we do, like we get transfers from our health facility every quarter to the department. After that, they are given an